Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today, I wanted to talk about a certain little something that the devs posted in their last update for Season of Discovery about 10 days ago. And this has, been sitting with me, and obviously I made a lot of speculation content before this on, what we could get for additional content in Phase 4, but I wanted to elaborate further and just talk about even more things that they could do as well. But before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everything you guys do helps my channel grow, helps me get discovered, and helps me help as many people as possible, which is the entire point of my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to switch it over here just to show you the exact post that I am talking about in their update right here. They're talking about level 60 content phases, and they said the first tier will consist of Molten Core, Nixia, and then a few weeks after we will see Blackwing Lair followed by Zul'Gurub with additional in-game content and surprises that we're planning to add between major raid tier releases. So that line right there, that adding additional content, well, it could be interpreted as something small like incursions. It could also mean some 5-man dungeons or even new sort of raids, 20-man raids like a ZGs that's meant to catch you up if you missed phase 1 through 3 of the classic experience with MC and BWL. So it could mean that as well. And so this video is just sort of talking about what I think are potential additional contents. Well, I did make a video called possible new raids for Phase 4. You can definitely check that one out if you're interested in that, and that's sort of just talking about a lot of storylines. I did miss a few, and a few ideas have been suggested by you guys in the comments of that it could be also new stuff. So I'm going to talk about those right now. So the big ones are going to be stuff such as Ajara. Now, there are two things that they could do in Ajara. They could use the Bay of Storms and the Temple of Okrakrin here, and they could turn this into a sort of Naga or Murloc type of dungeon or raid. They really left out the Naga and Murlocs and just all those. Other than BFD, you don't really do much with them here in Classic. Obviously, you go and fight Lady Vash when you get to TBC and Outland, but there's still a ton here in Azeroth, so it'd be cool to see us sort of do something with them here in Classic. And then there also could be this ginormous gateway right here for Timbermaw. You could have sort of a Timbermaw raid here where you fight Fel-infested Timbermaw, because you deal with them a lot from 50 to 60 in Felwood in here. But there's just this giant gateway here to Ajara that would connect to Winterspring, and it's just a ginormous gate that they did nothing with. So you could see some Timbermaw content as well. Then also you could dive into the Emerald Gym, hopefully not in an incursion sense, but have an actual instance inside the Emerald Dream and Emerald Nightmare and utilize that type of content that they have given us so far. I think that would be really, really cool and interesting to see here in Classic WoW. Then that's pretty much it for Eastern Kingdoms. Obviously, I talked a lot more in the other video, but over here on Kalimdor, over here on Eastern Kingdoms, they could also dive into Quel'The the Lost and the High Elves and Blood Elves and do a completely different narrative of TBC. If they did that, it would be, once again, completely different than TBC, and would probably mean that we are not going into TBC, so that's kind of a dangerous zone to cover. But as you can see, it's just all the way up here, and it is massive, and it could be used for something like that. Then one of the biggest ones would be having a Scarlet Monastery content of any kind. I've preached this pretty much since any idea of Classic Plus. It is just so perfect to finally deal with them at Tyr's Hand or Hearthglen. My vote would be Hearthglen, honestly, because we don't really have much in Western Plaguelands. EPL gets Naxxramas, it has Stratholme, it has a lot, but Western really doesn't. So a camp right here, and then you push in to go into the raid in Hearthglen would be really, really cool, especially if they tie that into the Ashbringer quest, or an Ashbringer quest, because people really love that idea, and I think it'd be really cool to have a legendary Ashbringer two-handed sword that you go and get in Nax, and then you have to do a quest line in a future raid to sort of go further with it. I think it'd be really, really awesome to see that in Classic. But those are a few of the ideas that they could definitely do. They could toy around with a sort of Warcraft 3 Outlands as well, and make like going into the Dark Portal be something. The portal's there, so you could go in, and it could just be like a Hellfire Peninsula type ordeal, and you fight Kale, Illidan, and Vosh or something like that. Obviously, if they do that story, it would have to be way different, and it kind of makes sure that we don't go to TBC. Then obviously the most gleaming one is Karazhan Crypts coming to the tower, doing something with Karazhan. It's here. It was undeveloped. It's just sort of been there. There's literally a spirit healer at Karazhan already. You go into the crypts for the I want to say Oni attunement. It's been a while, so I don't really remember. But you go down here and you go into the crypts for a quest line, and it's really fun and interesting. But yeah, Karazhan's just there, and it has a lot of history and story. So I think Karazhan Crypts is definitely the most likely one that they'll do. But it's just such a zone and tower that is available for people to go to right now and sort of do. You could also have hinterlands, and Genetha Allure could be something as well. There aren't any major dungeons or raids, but there's a ton of trolls here, and you could actually finally use them and deal with them here. I always liked this place. I thought it was cool. I thought it should have been a dungeon. Feels like a dungeon here, and I think it would be, some really cool, interesting content that they could give us. But yeah, those are just sort of a few more additional ideas of that new content. Obviously, you could do any of the Cataclysm zones. You could have Twilight Highlands with Grim Batol and these dragons over here. You could do Gilneas as well. Hyjal has a ton of content that you could be utilizing as well there. But, taking all those Kata stuff and respinning it, especially with Kata being out right now, is a little different and odd. I'd say I would like to see some truly original stuff with that I talked about here with the Emerald Nightmare, and a few other potential things would be really cool to see. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think of these ideas down below in the comments. I think there are quite a few that could be really, really awesome to see. And yeah, anyway, I'll see you next time. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. It truly means a lot to me. If you happen to find anyone that you know would also benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. It helps me out a ton and allows me to keep doing what I love every single day, and that is gaming and sort of helping people any way that I can. So finally, thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.